person who is making notes is the one who is going to be ahead of the person who is not making notes. Exact way to make the perfect notes: classroom notes, textbook notes, and short notes. Hello my class 10 students, welcome to Deeksha Vedantu. I'm your Aditi ma'am, and in this video we are going to see the perfect way to make notes, because now you guys have transitioned into class 10th and this is not a class that you should take lightly. And the very first thing that we do is to make notes. Now some of them do, some of them don't, and at the end in the next year you will be asking your friends, please give me notes. Yeah, we don't want that, right? Because the person who is making notes is the one who is going to be ahead of you, of the person who is not making notes, not specifically you, right? So in this video we are going to see exact way to make the perfect notes, because I used to make perfect notes as well. Okay, you can ask my classmates. I was the one who supplied notes to the whole class, so I have very few tricks that you can use. Okay, now the first is classroom notes. When I say few, I just have 3 tricks. Okay, first is classroom notes, textbook notes, and short notes. Let's see what those actually are. First, moving on to classroom notes, is every day a lot of people tell me that, ma'am, I don't make notes in class, I'll make after the chapter ends. Once the chapter is completed, I'll gather all the information, I write it down. That's it. No, that is where we all make a mistake. You should have a separate notebook for your school. A separate school notebook should be there with you, in which you are not going to make so much structured notes. Okay, you want 2-3 pens, you are not. First of all, if your teacher gives you enough time to make notes, then you can write all these in a very structured way, in a basic decent structured way, and that will be good. But if in any case your teacher teaches and they don't provide you enough time to make the notes, then also it's fine. Just take out your classroom notebook, your school notebook, and just start listening to the teacher and just start writing in your notebook. Even if you can't see your notebook while writing, just write like this. Okay, brain function, physics, ray diagram, all those things. Because what happens is, these every day you are going to study new concepts. Let's say one chapter ends in 10 days. How will you remember all the stuff of that 1 hour, all the stuff of 10 hours into your mind and then copy it down on your notebook? It's not possible, right? So what you have to do, take your piece of paper, your school notebook, and this is what you have to do. Non-negotiable. These things, date and topic. Why this is important? Because you will know exactly on which date you studied, what topic you studied. That is very important. Date is non-negotiable. Why? Because you are also going to write this very important information, that is from which page your teacher is teaching on that particular date. So on 25th of April, I studied from page number 10. Okay, so whenever I go back to see 10 days of notes, every day you have a date, every day you have a page number you studied from, and you can make now that your textbook notes, now you can study in a proper manner, in a chronological way. You don't have to find your notes back. What was the first day notes? What is the second day notes? They won't get mixed when you have date and proper page number of your NCERT question. Now in this, what you have to do, just normal, write down what topic she's been teaching or he's been teaching, and important information that they're telling us. Just maybe write the headings of those topics, and in those headings, if you find some information very important information that you think should be highlighted, then write it down just normally with a single pen. You don't need highlighters or anything, just with a single pen write that down. And tricks and strategies, because you know, in class teacher tells us a lot of things, and because we don't write it down, our brain is not functional enough. Even my brain is not functional enough to remember all the stuff that my ma'am has told in the last 10 days, right? So you have to write it down. those tricks, those strategies. Maybe she told a strategy to solve a numerical quickly. So you have to write it down, whatever your teacher is telling you. You have to write it down in your school notebook. And then doubts. Whatever doubts you are having while you are studying that topic in the class, whatever your doubts are, just write it down on this notebook. If you want to ask your doubt to the teacher, then it's great, you can ask, but at least write down your doubts. Okay, this is the first point. Now moving on to textbook notes. What are textbook notes? Textbook notes are the ones that you will make after a chapter ends. You have an unstructured note, that is your classroom notes. Now, to make it structural, to make it functional and easy to understand, we will write textbook notes. What are those? Those are classroom notes, whatever the stuff you have. Plus, when you study NCERT, when you study your book, you underline important words, you write all that down in your textbook notes. And whatever numericals and theory questions you are studying, whatever you are doing, all that goes into your textbook notes. How exactly to do that? And these are the most important notes. That is why this should be neat and clean for the first point. Second, here we are going to use pens. Your black pen for heading, your blue pen for concepts and theory, and your red pen for important notes or important points. Why these different color of pens are important? See, beta, your brain is not just a normal organ, okay? It can remember information when presented in a colorful manner, when presented in a picturesque manner, or those, you remember, you're given this book where it just has lines in it, only lines, just written with black color. And then another book, it has pictures, it has diagrams written with different colors. So which one is easy to remember? Obviously this picture one and different colors one, right? Rather than just plain black notebook. So that is why our brain is functioned. It's wired that way. So whenever you write this, so black pen is for heading. Again, here also you'll have to write date, your topic, and again NCERT page number. I'm stressing again and again, writing the NCERT page number is very, very, very important, because whenever you are, let's say you are studying your notes, okay, and you don't understand one thing, I don't understand this line, what does this mean, what have I written? Okay, sometimes we do that. So you can go, okay, this is page number 11, let me just open my NCERT, and there it is written clearly. You can read again and you can go on with your life very happily. You don't have to search to ChatGPT or Google what exactly I have written, what does this mean. You can directly go to that particular page. You don't have to waste time in searching which page is this. That is why this point is very important, and this is my personal recommendation to you. Nobody is telling you on YouTube to do that, okay? Because I have done it again and again, and it's proven to be the most effective point, okay? Now, along with that, you can get a highlighter. So, to underline the important concepts in theory, you'll write basically theory. So, in that, you'll learn to highlight the important, the keynotes, okay? And sticky notes. They are very normal range, okay? You can buy that in your budget, and just paste it here. What? For your doubts and for super important information that you think this is a must know, okay? See, here we written that in classroom notes, there is some important information or some strategy or tricks that your teacher is going to tell you in the classroom. So those tricks and strategies will go here. Those tricks and strategies will go here on your sticky notes, so that you can stay ahead of your peers, because you remember what your teacher told. That's one simple trick that will save your 10 minutes, your 5 minutes of a numerical, and hence you will be able to give time to other difficult questions. Right? So that first your date, second your highlighter, and third your sticky notes and tricks and strategies from your teachers. These are very important things. Next, moving to short notes. Now, short notes are basically for quick revision, and it helps us to recall easily. How exactly to do that? You just write a topic, your main information in bullet points. You have this page, whatever, you have this notebook page, okay? You write this topic and you just write 3 bullet points or 4 bullet points. Okay, this is a vector quantity. This can be negative, this can be positive as well. Or then another topic, and this, its focal length is only negative, its focal length is only positive. Which mirror is this? Which lens is this one? one. So these are your short notes. Also you can just do one thing. Instead of writing like this, you can divide this into 4 or 6 sections at any time you can. Now here you have formulas. Okay, here you have formulas. Then this is a concept, basic concepts, but the most important ones that you need to study. Then here are some numerical which you forgot. Okay, that the numericals which are really important. Okay, and the formulas are then connected to numericals. Okay, then you can make a sheet like this. Maybe you don't need the 6th column, just make a 4-column sheet. Here you have formulas, here you have concepts, here you have numericals, and here you have tricks and strategies to save your time, in the examination and in the revision. Then now what more you have to write? Formulas, that too in a box. Whenever you're writing a formula, 1 by f equals to 1 by v minus 1 by u, either place it in a different box or just write all the formulas just in this big box. Okay, then next point is your questions. Whatever questions that you did, you revised, you found it hard, you found it tricky, and you were like, okay, I don't know how to solve this, or you understood how to solve this, but you think you might forget. You need to write a trick. So you can write those specific questions as well, and your mistakes. What mistakes did you do? How did you corrected them? The tricks and the strategies for that, and your doubts again. Okay, so you have this paper again. Let me tell you, this is a very important part, because see, these notes are the ones that will save your time. Okay, other notes are okay. Other notes are there to revise, but these notes are the ones that will save your time. So just divide your notebook into 4 sections. First here, we are writing just the formulas. Okay, and here all the important concepts that you need to study. These are the ones that you must study before your examinations. Then the numericals that you found hard, that were tricky, or that you think you need to study again. And in here, you will be writing your tricks or your strategies. See, these tricks and strategies will be the ones that will save your time and will make you ahead for the rest of your peers. Okay. So these 4 columns are very important. Make sure you are not skipping any of the point I told, because I personally used these notes. I used to make these notes. I'll show you one day all the colorful notes I used to make, and they will definitely help you, bacha. So do all these things. Go and buy some pens, some highlighters, some sticky notes. They won't cost you much, but they will definitely be a very big factor in improving your marks. Okay, that is it for this video. Subscribe this channel, go join the WhatsApp link in the description. We'll post everything, notify some of the polls that you might interact with us, and that is it for this video. I'll meet you in the next one. Bye.